Making English easy for everyone.
Speak English with Jay and May.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to Speak English with Jay and May, your cozy little place to build your English confidence. I'm May.
Hello, May, and hello, everyone. I'm Jay. How are you today, May?
I'm doing great, Jay. Actually, I just got back from a walk and I was thinking, we use the word go like 100 times a day without even noticing it.
Wait, really? Like just the word go? As in go to school, go home?
Yes, but so much more than that. That's exactly what we're talking about today. 13 surprising ways we use go in everyday life.
13? I only knew like 2 or 3 uses. This is going to be interesting.
Right? And the best part is, once you learn these, your English is going to sound so much more natural, like a real speaker, not a textbook.
Okay, I love that. But wait, before we jump in, didn't you want to say something to our listeners?
Oh, yes. If this podcast is helping you feel more confident in English, please subscribe, turn on notifications, like this episode, and share it with a friend. We drop a new episode every single day, so you never want to miss one.
Every day, people. Every single day. Okay, May, let's go. See what I did there?
Oh, very smooth, Jay. Okay, let's start with something super simple. Use number 1, go to talk about movement, like go to work, go to the store, go home.
Okay, yeah, that one I know. That's the basic one, right?
Exactly. It's the foundation. Anytime you're moving from one place to another, you use go. I go to the gym. She goes to school. We went to the park yesterday.
So it's always about physically moving somewhere.
For this first use, yes. But here's the fun part. Most of the other uses have nothing to do with moving at all. That's where it gets surprising.
Wait, really? Go with no movement? How does that work?
Okay, use number 2. Go to describe how something is progressing, like how's it going, or everything is going well.
Oh, like when someone asks, how's work going? They don't mean, are you walking to work?
Exactly. They mean, how is work progressing? How is your situation? This is huge in daily conversation. How's the project going? How's your family going? It's everywhere.
Wow, I never thought about it that way. So go can describe a situation, not just movement.
Yes. And use number 3 is so common, but learners often miss it. Go to talk about a change in state, like when something becomes different.
You mean like changing?
Yes, the milk went bad, my phone went dead, she went quiet, he went crazy.
Wait, so went bad means it became bad, not that the milk walked somewhere.
Exactly. The milk didn't go anywhere physically, it changed, it became bad. Go in English can mean something transforms or changes into a new state.
That's actually really useful. I used to say the milk became bad, but went bad sounds much more natural.
So much more natural. Native speakers say it all the time. And here's a fun one. Use number 4, go to talk about sounds things make.
Sounds like animal sounds?
Yes, the dog goes woof, the clock goes tick-tock, the phone goes beep. Kids use this a lot, but adults do too.
Oh, like when you're telling a story, and then the alarm goes beep, beep, beep.
Yes, perfect example. You're acting it out. It makes the story feel alive and real. This is great for storytelling.
I love that. It makes conversations more fun and dramatic.
Right? Okay, wait, here's the interesting part. Use number 5, go in fixed phrases and idioms. These ones might surprise you.
Ooh, like what?
Go ahead, go figure, go for it, go easy on someone.
Go ahead. I know that one. It means like proceed, do it.
Exactly. Can I ask you a question? Go ahead. It means yes, please continue, or go ahead and take a seat. Very polite and very common.
What about go figure? That one I've heard, but I'm not sure what it means.
So, go figure is used when something is surprising or ironic, like, I studied all night and then the exam was canceled. Go figure.
Oh, it's like saying, of course that happened, or isn't that funny and annoying?
Exactly. It's a little sarcastic, a little surprised. Very American expression. People say it all the time.
Okay, what about go easy on someone?
That means don't be too strict or too hard on someone. Like, go easy on him, he just started the job. Meaning, be kind, be patient, don't criticize too much.
Oh, that's so useful. Like a teacher might say, go easy on the new student.
Exactly. Use it when you want someone to be gentle or patient with another person.
Okay, I feel like I've been missing so much. What's use number 6?
Use number 6. Go to describe time passing. The weekend went by so fast. Time really goes quickly when you're having fun.
Oh, yes. I say the time passed fast, but went by so fast is better, huh?
Both are correct, but went by is supernatural and very common in casual speech. The meeting went by quickly. The year went by in a flash.
In a flash, that means very fast, right?
Yes, great catch. So, go by in this context means time is moving or passing. You'll hear this constantly in real conversations.
Okay, this is eye-opening. What's number 7?
Number 7. Go to describe food and things that pair well together. These shoes go well with that dress. Red wine goes perfectly with steak.
You mean like they match, they belong together.
Exactly. Do these colors go together? Does pizza go with orange juice? You're asking if two things are a good combination.
Pizza and orange juice probably don't go together.
Probably not, but you see how natural that sounds. Instead of saying, are they compatible, you just say, do they go together?
Much simpler, much more natural. I love it. Okay, number 8?
Use number 8. Go to describe being available or disappearing, like that seat is taken, but this one is still going. Or the sale is going fast, get yours now.
Oh, so going means it's being taken or used up.
Yes, going, going, gone. You've heard that at auctions, right? Like when someone is selling something. It means first it's available, then it's almost gone, then it's sold.
Oh, wow. Yes, I've heard that in movies. I didn't know it was connected to go in that way.
See, this is why go is so powerful. It shows up everywhere, even in selling and shopping.
Okay, what's number 9? We're halfway through.
Number 9, and this one is so good. Go to describe how you say something or what someone said. She goes, I can't believe you did that.
Wait, you mean using go instead of said?
Yes, in casual storytelling, especially American English, people say, and then she goes, instead of, and then she said.
Really? So I can say, and then my boss goes, you need to redo this whole report.
Exactly, and it sounds very natural and conversational, very real, not robotic at all.
Okay, that changes my life a little bit. I'm definitely using that.
This is where things really change for English learners. When you start using go for dialogue like this, you start sounding like a native speaker.
Okay, I'm excited. Number 10, go.
Nice pun. Number 10, go in continuous actions and routines. I go running every morning. She goes shopping on weekends. We go swimming in the summer.
Oh, so it's go plus a gerund, the ing form of a verb.
Exactly. Go plus activity. Go hiking, go dancing, go fishing. It's one of the most common structures in English for talking about activities you do regularly.
So instead of I do running, I say I go running?
Yes, I do running sounds a little off. I go running, that's the natural way. Try to remember, for most physical activities, we use go.
This is so helpful. Okay, we have 3 more. Number 11.
Number 11, go to express determination or encouragement. Go for it. Go get them. Go show them what you can do.
Oh, like when you want to cheer someone on.
Yes, if your friend is nervous about a job interview, you say, go for it. You've got this. It's motivating. It's energetic. It's very human.
I love that. What about in sports, like go team, go?
Perfect example. Cheering at a game. Go, go, go. It's all about pushing someone forward, encouraging them, believing in them.
Okay, I'm feeling motivated just talking about this. Number 12.
Number 12. Go to talk about something running out or being used up. We're going to run out of time. The battery is going. All the food is gone.
So when the battery is going, it means it's almost finished?
Exactly. My phone is going means the battery is dying. The gas is going means the tank is almost empty. It's a warning that something is almost finished.
That's so useful for daily life. Like, hurry, the sale is going.
Yes, same idea. Act fast because it's almost finished. Very persuasive in advertising too.
Okay, last one. Number 13. What is it?
Number 13, and I saved one of my favorites for last, go to mean something is working or functioning. Is the Wi-Fi going? The machine is not going. Once the engine goes, we can leave.
So when is it going means is it working?
Exactly. Is the coffee machine going yet? Means is it on? Is it functioning? Is it working? Very casual, but very common.
Oh, like when someone asks, is the system going at work? They mean, is everything running and ready?
Yes, and you can also say, let's get things going, which means let's start, let's get everything working and moving forward.
Okay, my brain is buzzing. 13 uses of go, and I feel like I just unlocked a new level of English.
You did. And the beautiful thing is, you already knew go. You've used it thousands of times, but now you understand the depth behind it.
Yeah, I think before I was only using it for, like, physical movement. Go to school, go home, that kind of thing.
And now imagine you're telling a story to a friend. You can say, so I go to the coffee shop, right? And the machine is not going. The cashier goes, sorry, we're out of coffee. And I go, are you serious? The time went by so slowly waiting for them to fix it. The whole morning went bad.
And you used almost every form we talked about in that one little story.
Exactly. That's the magic. Once you internalize these patterns, they flow out naturally. You don't have to think. It just goes.
You did it again.
I can't help it. Okay, let's do a super quick review for our listeners. Ready?
Ready. Hit me.
Go for movement. Go for how things are progressing. Go for change in state. Go for sounds. Go in idioms and fixed phrases.
Go for time passing, go for matching or pairing, go for things being available or disappearing,
Go for quoting what someone said. Go plus activity for routines. Go for encouragement and cheering.
go for something running out, and go for something working or functioning.
13 uses, one tiny word, endless possibilities.
I have to say, before today, I thought go was the simplest word in English. Now I think it might be one of the most powerful.
That's English for you. The simple words are often the deepest ones.
Okay, so here's what I want to know, and we want to hear from all of you listening right now.
Yes! Which use of go surprised you the most today? Was it using go to quote someone, like, and then she goes, or maybe go to describe sounds, or go to matching things together?
Drop your answer in the comments. Tell us the one that surprised you or the one you're going to use first.
We read every comment, and we love hearing from you. You are the reason we show up every single day to make this podcast.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We're here every day helping you build your English confidence one episode at a time.
Warmly, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Keep practicing, keep going, see what I did there? And we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. Go get 'em.